Have you ever been hit with a six-figure claim only to find out that your stop-loss carrier isn't paying it until after you do? This isn't bad luck. It's just a reimbursement contract. And if you're self-funded, it could be the difference between having a healthy claims account and scrambling to cover payroll. So today we're going to be breaking down Spec Advance versus reimbursement, what they mean, how they work, and which one keeps your cash flow stable when the big claims hit. Let's start with reimbursement. This is the most common type. Here's how it works. You, as the employer, pay the claim out of your claims account. Then, once the stop-loss carrier verifies and approves it, they reimburse you for everything above your spec deductible, usually 30 to 60 days later. Sounds fine, right? Until your TPA cuts a check for a $250,000 NICU claim or $100,000 infusion therapy. Now, with a specific deductible of $50,000, you may think you're only on the hook for the first $50,000, but if you have a reimbursement contract, you have to pay that claim in advance and then you get reimbursed. And your stop-loss reimbursement won't arrive until next month. In other words, you're the bank. Now compare this to Spec Advance. In a Spec Advance arrangement, once the claim is approved, the stop-loss carrier advances the covered funds directly to your TPA before the payment is made. That means that employees' claims get paid on time and your claims account never has to float that six-figure check. So which one's better? Well, like most things in health insurance, it depends. But here's the rule of thumb. If you're a smaller employer with tighter cash flow or limited reserves in your claims account, Spec Advance can be a lifesaver. If you're a larger group with a healthy surplus and strong internal accounting principles, reimbursement can work fine, and sometimes carriers even price those policies a little cheaper. But here's what too many CFOs miss. When you go to market for stop loss, carriers rarely spell this out in plain English. It's buried in the policy language, and it's usually just a single sentence that dictates how you get paid when claims spike. You might see language like, reimbursement shall be made upon proof of payment. That means it's a reimbursement contract. Or you might see the company shall advance payment directly to the administrator. Well, that's Spec Advance. These two sentences can define your company's ability to weather a $500,000 claim. So here's your takeaway. Before you renew your stop-loss contract or go to market, verify which reimbursement method you have. Because when you're self-funded, you're not just buying protection, you're also buying timing. If you want to make sure that your carrier setup aligns with your cash flow strategy, then download our stop-loss evaluation checklist. It walks you through everything from contract types and lasers to funding methods like Spec Advance versus reimbursement. And if you haven't watched the rest of the Stop Loss 101 series yet, be sure to check out our deep dives on Spec versus Ag and laser versus no laser options. Coming up next, we'll unpack aggregating specific deductibles and ag accommodation, two advanced funding concepts that can protect your cash flow and smooth out bumps when claims spike.